Welcome to Music Lessons with Tony Valley. Today's episode is going to be about major scales. Major scales. Today we're going to be working on major scales. I'll be introducing the C major scale. Now, a lot of people have questions about what scales are. Scales are groups of notes put together in steps that are in one group. I kind of tell people that scales are like sodas. A major scale and different types of scale have a certain sound, just as sodas have different flavors. So they're all in the same category and same group. So if we were to talk about major scales, minor scales, harmonic minor scales, melodic minor scales, they're all different sounds. And I kind of put that over to sodas as there's flavors of sodas. Each type of soda, be it grape, strawberry, anything like that, has a certain chemical makeup, as a scale has a certain note makeup. So just when you talk about scales, we're talking about groups of notes that fit together and they sound good together. Right now, we're going to figure out the C scale pattern. And you can figure this, we're going to start with the C note on your 5th string, 3rd fret. Now, for just placement, we're going to be using just one finger. Now the next note, D, will be open, 4th string, E, 2nd fret, 4th string, F, 3rd fret, 3rd string, G, open string, 3rd, the A note on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, the B note on the 2nd string, open, and again C on the 1st fret, 2nd string. Whenever you start a scale, you're going to start it on the root note, which is the bass note, in this case C, and end on C. Now I'm going to play that through again. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Again, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, now there's a correct finger pattern to play the C scale in this position, which is called the 1st position because it's down by the 1st fret in this area. You're going to be using the 1st note, you're going to be using your 3rd finger for the 1st note here. And then you're going to go open, 2nd finger for the E note, which is the 2nd fret, 4th string. 3rd finger for the F note on the 3rd fret, 4th string. G is open, 3rd string. A is 2nd fret, 2nd finger, 3rd string. The B note is the 2nd string, open. And then again, C, 1st fret, 2nd string, 1st finger. Now I'm going to play that through very slowly. Again, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And one more time, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Again, this is C in this position. There's many different places we can play a C, but today we're going to be working and focusing on this position. The notes again, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. They come from a certain pattern from the major scale. Now, when you're talking about a major scale, you want to talk about what the steps are to create a major scale. Now, you've got the distance C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. But let's talk about those notes and how those actually fit together. On the guitar, All your notes are 1 fret space apart, meaning if you're going to go from C to D, there's always going to be a space in between the note. So if you got C, D, E, but there's 2 notes on the guitar that are next to each other, E and F and B and C. We've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now I'm doing this on 1 string so you can see the different spaces for the pattern of the major scale on C. Once again, C, skip a fret, D, skip a fret, E. F is right next to E. Skip a fret to G. Skip a fret to A. Skip a fret to B. And to C, they're next to each other. So the 2 notes that are next to each other are E and F and B and C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We played it down here for practice, but for me to physically and visually show you what the C major scale is and how to build a major scale, I need to go up through 1 string. Now to build a major scale, the steps are whole. Now what I mean by whole, it means it's going to have a space. Now you might get confused with that, but just remember a whole step is up 2 frets. Easiest way to remember it. So from C to D is a whole step. D to E is a whole step. Now from E to F is a half step, meaning just move up 1 fret. So let's go back to C. C to D whole step. D to E whole step. E to F half step. Now we're going to continue on. F to G is a whole step. G to A is a whole step. A to B is a whole step. B to C half step. Now, to build a major scale, the formula is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Now again, we're going to do space, space, no space, 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 no space. But in theory, we need to say whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So we're going to recap that. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And make sure to write this down. You want to write down whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And write it down on a piece of paper and actually put the C note, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and write out the space, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Now we're going to play the C major scale again down here. Now it gets confusing for steps, and that's why I went up on 1 string. Again, the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. The steps still go the same. C to D is a whole step, D to E whole step, E to F half step, F to G whole step, G to A whole step, A to B whole step, B to C half step. Now C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, next we're going to be getting into more of the major scale and going into more detail with it. Expanding the major scale. The C major scale can be played in many different areas on the guitar. We're going to be moving up to the 3rd position, and that's C note. You're going to be using your 2nd finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret, C. Now you're going to be using your 4th finger on the 5th fret, 5th string. This is going to be a little more difficult. And then you're going to put your 1st finger onto the 2nd fret, 4th string, this is E. Your 2nd finger onto F, 3rd fret, 4th string. And you're going to put your 4th finger onto the 4th string, 5th fret. Now notice how I'm keeping my fingers down as I play it. You do not want to go and lift up, because this will cause a loss of positioning, finger positioning. So going back to C, D, E, F, G. The next part is going to be A, 1st finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret, A. Now to B with the third finger, 4th fret, 3rd string, and to your C with your pinky on the 3rd string, 5th fret. Now we're going to go through that real slow again. Now, an easy way to write this out is the numbers of your fingers to use. So you're going to write out 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. And again, those notes are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. The 2, 4 is going to be listed for the 5th string. The 1, 2, 4 is going to be listed for the 4th string. And the 1, 3, 4 will be listed for the 3rd string. Now you want to make sure you write down 3rd fret, 5th fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret. But you should be, if you keep in this position and hold your 2nd finger down on C, and just remember 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, you'll have no problem. But again, do not lift up on your fingers. Keep your fingers down. 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Getting used to the major scales and getting used to all different finger exercises and whatnot is repetition. You keep doing this over and over again. When your hands get a little tense, just take a break, shake it out a little bit like that. But as time goes on, your hands will get stronger and you won't be in any pain. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And don't forget, we're going to recap those steps. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And as time goes on, we're going to use alternate picking with your right hand, but right now you're going to go and use all down picking. Next on Music Lessons with Tony Valley, we're going to be learning all the major scales.